I'm sure pissing off a ruthless warlord with a tribe of fanatically devoted warriors was a good move. How could it not be? It was your idea. Questions, boss? You mean you don't know everything there is to know already? Just how old do you think I am, boss? Because I can pretty much guarantee I'm older than that. Let me tell you a story from before the Great War. Everybody knew Robert House. He was a genius, a superstar. Founded Ramco at 22, dated Hollywood stars, the works. They say he saved Las Vegas. I was in Mexico City when the bombs dropped. Even from there, we could see House's defensive rockets shooting down the incoming missiles. Everybody assumed he died in the war. Maybe he did. But his robots are still out there roaming the waste. And now, a Mr. House rules New Vegas. I remember there were some weird stories about him, especially near the end. There was a tell-all in El Periódico de las Aburridas by a starlet house lady. She said they never, But don't make me spell it out, boss. Anyway, she said all he wanted to do was scan her brain and make her dress up in different outfits. It was quite the scandal, at least in the Latin American tabloid journalism market. Maybe not. Maybe the new guy is just a clever raider chief with knowledge of history. Maybe he just left instructions for his robots to carry out in his name. Or maybe Robert House uploaded his brain pattern into a computer and rules to this day a godless, soulless machine god. Maybe the whole thing's a crazy coincidence. Who knows? You're a veritable geyser of curiosity, boss. Benny, huh? Sorry, boss. Doesn't ring a bell. Then again, my brain isn't as sharp as it used to be. Anything to hold your attention, boss. Sure, boss. What do you want to know? You forget about me already, boss? You sure you didn't take a blow to the head or something? My name is Raúl Alfonso Tejada. Probably because it used to be Miguel's. I'm an open book, boss. Granted, the book's in Spanish and some of the pages have fallen out, but I'm an open book. I'm not much use besides being a portable encyclopedia, really. I guess you could use me as a pack Brahmin, but my knees aren't so good anymore. That's nice of you to say, boss. But I'm an old man. Not much use to anybody anymore. Time was. I was a pretty good shot with a pistol. I guess I'm still half decent. These old bones aren't much use in hand-to-hand fighting, though. I can also do maintenance work on your stuff. I don't have the supplies for a real repair job, but I can keep your gear working longer. Yeah, maybe you can introduce them to me, if we find them, because I've never met one. Anything you say, boss. Don't worry, boss. I'm sure the sudden tension in the air is just a thunderstorm. Oh, this should be good. Don't strain. Well, boss, when a giant, insane super mutant asks you to stay put, you do what you're told. Well, maybe you don't. But I'm just a broke down old man. Nah, it's stupid, boss. I used to listen to the radio broadcast, just to pass the time. Well, one day the signal stopped, so I figured I'd try to find a transmitter. I'm a pretty good repairman. Or I was before my eyes started to go. Anyway, I found Black Mountain and offered my services. But Tabitha decided I was useful enough to keep around permanently. Good call. I don't really have a problem with it. People around here tend to see them as invading marauders planning to burn and pillage the countryside. But I've been to Arizona, boss. Before the Legion, it was a nasty place. So thick with raiders you couldn't trade with a town 2 miles up the road. Caesar's laws aren't nice, and their actions aren't always pretty. But then neither am I. But you keep me around. Old enough to know better, boss. Old enough to know better. I was born just outside Mexico City. My family had a little ranch there. It's big, it's bright, and it's one of the biggest cities still left from before the war. Well, mostly anyway. Used to be just a curiosity. The buildings were pre-war, but it's just as full of raiders and barbarian tribes as any place else. Then Mr. House took over, got the power turned back on, and got the tribes reformed into something civilized. And now they run his casinos for him. All right, I suppose. Had a bit of tough going there at the beginning. You know, their first town was nearly wiped out by raiders. Anyway, they got their good points and their bad. Just like a lot of the old governments from before the war. I sort of figured you had your own reasons for keeping me around, boss. Time was. I was a pretty good shot with a pistol. I guess I'm still half decent. These old bones aren't much use in hand-to-hand fighting, though. I can also do maintenance work on your stuff. I don't have the supplies for a real repair job, but I can keep your gear working longer. Yeah, maybe you can introduce them to... Sure, boss. Okay, so maybe I was wrong about the thunderstorm. I admit it. don't have the supplies for a real repair job, but I can do some routine maintenance to keep your gear working longer. It won't exactly get better, but it'll get worse slower. Boss, usually when somebody gives you a name and nothing else, it's because that's all they want to give you. Anything you say, boss.
I've heard of you. I'm glad you're here to help us out. This is a delicate matter, and we need all the help we can get from people we can trust. We've got a lot to do to prepare for the President's visit, and not much time. Once we start, we'll be on a strict timetable. Are you ready? Good. The President doesn't arrive until tomorrow. Get some rest. I'll brief you in the morning. Glad you could join us. Most of my men are already on duty, and the crowd has already started gathering outside. We've got a busy day ahead of us. The plan is to get through today without the shit hitting the fan. So I'll be overseeing the security team personally, and keeping in constant contact with people over the radio. It's a good bet that the Legion is gonna try something today, so we have to be prepared for anything. We'll do whatever it takes to get the President through this visit in one piece. President Kimball is arriving shortly. If you want to do any last-minute security sweeps or take a look around for anything suspicious, do it now. Once you're ready, meet me outside on the observation deck. Don't take too long.
What can I do for you, boss? Yeah, maybe you can introduce them to me.
Things are getting stranger every day.
You've done us a great service. Thank you for your help.
What can I do for you, boss?
Ranger at the ready.
That fiend leader. Thank you for getting me here. Jack is a great guy. I'll believe that the fiends are gone when they stop their raiding and pillaging.
Things are getting stranger every day. Oh, please don't kill me. I swear I'll have... Wait, you don't work for Mr. Bishop, do you? Sorry, it's just, you look like his type, you know? You got that hard-ass wasteland explorer thing going on. Oh, so you have heard of me. Yeah, that's right. I was the big draw at the Shark Club. People used to pay hundreds of caps to see me. You don't know Mr. Bishop. He's not like other bosses up there. He knows the wasteland like the back of his hand, and he likes to wander it. I knew if I didn't get way the hell away from New Reno, he'd run me down like a dog. Oh, well, that's all just a big misunderstanding, see? Mr. Bishop, well, he owed me a lot of money, and, you know, he's a busy guy, so I sort of figured I'd just take it off his hands. Robbed is such an ugly word. It's more like I took care of a payroll problem for him. Also, I might have, sort of plowed his daughter. A little. Thanks. But if Bishop finds me and I don't have his money, my balls are going to be on his trophy wall. You do that? Great. I really appreciate that. Yeah. See you later.
Ranger at the ready.
We haven't met yet. You must be new in town. I'm Andy. Right now, a whole lot of sitting on my keister and counting cracks in the ceiling. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. On better days, I help keep the peace. Boone and Vargas watch the road. I watch the town. Tell myself I'm doing some good. Was with them. That was back when my arm and leg used to work better. I still like to pretend I'm a ranger, though. I'll check in with the guys up at the station pretty regular on the ham radio. Sometimes they stop by, tell me they're paying their respects, the smug bastards. They haven't been responding to me last couple days. I guess they got tired of hearing me talk, but it still got me a little worried. Hell, listen to me talk, like some damn mother hen. No, they're gonna think I'm having trouble letting go. They're good soldiers. I don't give them enough credit. They're the NCR's finest. A one-man platoon, each of them. You got a job where even thinking about it would scare a man senseless? That's when you bring in the Rangers. And if you see a squad of veterans, guys who are in their black armor, well, you won't find a more beautiful sight. Yeah, twice. Actually, the first time, it was more like half my body. Knocked me out of the Rangers. This time, it's mostly just reminded me how useless I've gotten. A few years back, we get a tip that some Legion slavers were holed up in this burnt-out house a few clicks from where we were stationed. We get there and it's deserted. No sign anyone's been there. I mean, nothing. As we're leaving, I hear something behind me. I turn around and there's this kid, just skin and bone, and he's looking up at us and he's scared half to death. Been hiding in a closet. I go to grab him out of there and I notice he's holding something in his hand. Something metal. He shuts himself back in the closet and that's when I see the grenade he's left by my feet. They do it a lot, the Legion, using kids. They know we'll hesitate. Anyway, that was the first time. Second time, I fell down those stairs in front of the motel. Just in case I got to thinking I'd put it all behind me. People don't exactly line up to find out what's in my head. Can't remember the last time someone suggested I knew something worth knowing. You know, maybe there's something I can do for you. Since you've gone to all the trouble of flattering a crippled old soldier, there's a move we have in the Rangers for knocking an opponent off his feet. Saved my butt a bunch of times. Maybe it will for you too. Let me show you how it's done. You'll get the hang of that takedown. I had trouble learning it at first, too. A few years... Hey, wait a sec. I know what I said, but if you find yourself by Ranger Station Charlie, let me know what you find. I'd be interested.
What can I do for you, boss?
message to the NCR from the Legion. We are coming for you. Run, and we will catch you. Hide, and we will find you. No matter what you do, you are all going to die. We took one of the women alive.
I expect to be awed by your dizzying mercantile sense, boss.
Drove the raiders off. No casualties. In the meantime, patrol's back. They're late. I hope they got a good excuse. What took...
With those fiends on the run, I should head over to Vault.
Hey, welcome. Any word on Station Charlie? What? What happened? Those were good men at that station. Good men. This whole town was sleeping a lot easier because of them. Now, who knows what we're in for? The Legion? Christ. We'd be better off with raiders. Well, thanks for telling me. I know that knowledge didn't come without risk. Here, take this. Courtesy of the Ranger Veterans Fund. Look out for yourself.
What can I do for you, boss? Sure, boss.
Isn't that bomber a beauty? Thanks so much for making an old man's dreams come true. No, those aren't for outsiders to use. Leave them alone. Anything else you need? I've got work to do. Later.
That's a good thing to see, huh, boss? That loyal guy. He's getting up there in years, but he still finds a way to make himself useful to his people. If you ask me, that's better than withering away all alone or holding on to some faded piece of glory from your past. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Old history, boss. I grew up in a place called Hidalgo Ranch, just outside Mexico City. It wasn't much, just a bit of a farm, with a house for 3 generations of Tejadas. I wasn't the best behaved kid. I was quick with my hands, with a pistol or a wrench. And I wasn't afraid to get into fights over it. I never killed anybody, but I had my share of run-ins with the police. Mostly my family kept me in line. This was before the war. We were far enough away from Mexico City when the bombs fell that we missed the worst of it. But things got bad quick. Just a few days after Mexico City was vaporized, refugees started pouring down the road to our ranch. We helped who we could, but there were so many. Eventually my father started turning people away before we ran out of food. Things got violent. My father and I got our guns, and we drove them off. About 24 men came back in the night after we'd gone to sleep. They set fire to the ranch house and barred the doors from the outside. My whole family was trapped inside. I smelt the smoke, and I got myself and my little sister Rafaela out through a window. But everyone else, my parents, my grandmother, my 2 brothers, and 2 of my sisters, all died. Rafaela and I ran. We were pursued by some of the men who attacked our home, but I was always a good shot. The ones who came after us, I killed. The rest, I left be. I had to take care of Rafaela, not throw my life away on revenge. Maybe. I don't know. All I know is that for all my skills with a pistol, I couldn't help them. Anyway, that was weighing on my mind. Thanks for letting me get it out in the open, boss.
Move along.
Sure. Sure thing, boss. I expect to be awed by your dizzying mercantile sense, boss. What can I do for you, boss?
After the battle at Helios 1, some people were worried about the NCR coming after us. But this bunker is secure.
Have you found it? Our patrols are always bringing more stuff in. Take a look. Another.
Seems the NCR is making friends. We've had reports of them making overtures to some gang efforts.
Trooper, ready to fight.
I haven't got any more bounties for you. It's been quiet and calm.
Ranger at the ready.
We should be taking the fight to the Legion, not waiting for them to
The
pick us
cavalry's
apart.
finally here. God bless the boys in black.
One of the Ranger vets looked at me and I just about surrendered. I hear you took care of Motor Runner. I could have handled that on my own.
One of the Ranger vets looked at me, and I just about surrendered. Nelson's back in our hands.
Colonel
hope we
Shu
can
really
defend
knows
it
what he's
this time.
doing. Now, if only someone explained that to old General Wait-and-See Oliver.
Nelson's back in our hands. I hope we can defend it this time. Smart move for the Kings to back down. They didn't know who they were messing with. I hear you took care of Motor Runner. I could have handled that on my own. One of the range vets looked at me and I just about surrendered. It's been a long tour. All I can think about now is going back home.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
I hear you took care of Motor Runner. I could have handled that on my own.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Smart move for the Kings to back down.
Trooper,
They didn't know
ready
they
to
were
fight.
messing with.
I didn't expect someone as famous as you here. What can I do for you? I don't have any supplies to spare, but I got caps if you have any. Good work. If you're heading out, be careful. There's been lots of Legion raiding parties around.
Trooper, ready to fight.
Yeah? We were sent out here to hold back the tide of convicts from the correctional facility. As you can...
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter. Nelson's back in our hands.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Major Palantli is putting it...
Trooper, ready to fight. Trooper, ready to fight.
I'm afraid you're not gonna find much help here. We've got our hands full as it is.
I hear you defeated the Legion forces at Nelson. I'm impressed and thankful. It'll make my job around here much easier. Things are better now that the Legion at Nelson have been defeated. Men have waged war on each other for countless centuries. Now is no different. People fight and die for what they believe in. I'm just here to patch them up so they can go on their merry way. Do no harm in all that. I'm doing the best I can considering the poor situation I find myself in. There's barely enough equipment or medicine to handle the number of injuries we have. To make things worse, I think someone might be stealing my supplies. The simple fact that I no longer have as many supplies as I should. I've been careful with them and I should have more than what remains. Unfortunately, I don't have time to go searching for the missing supplies since I have my hands full with injured soldiers. That would definitely be appreciated. You might want to ask around, and keep an eye out for anything suspicious.
Patrolling them all.
Back already? What do you need?
Javi almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Howdy. Name's Sterling, First Recon. Can't say I've seen you before. I'd remember if I had. Got a good memory for faces, landmarks and such too. Comes with practice, that's all, and a lot of scouting from place to place. As a matter of fact, it's funny that you'd ask. A couple nights back, I was on watch in the yard. Got myself a habit of looking all around, not just where I'd expect to find trouble. Old habit, but it saved my hide on occasion. Round about 1 in the morning, I spied some lights in the control tower. Now that's the 3rd time I've spied those lights, mind you. And every time I ask about it, they tell me the place was empty. I'm just saying, didn't look empty to me. No trouble at all. Might be nothing. Couple frisky young folks looking for a quiet place to snuggle up. That light is mighty consistent. Always there at 1 a.m. Might be worth a look. I call her the Long Carabine. Didn't always have the scope. I added that myself. Been shooting with her so long, couldn't bring myself to toss her away. Would have felt guilty to part with the old girl. The other snipers used bolt action, but Gorbets reckoned it didn't matter none if I was different, so long as I could hit my targets. Used to be a ranger, one of the first they sent out east back before we took the dam. Observation and reconnaissance. We took the lay of the land, checked out the locals, and kept ourselves inconspicuous. A couple friends of mine were the first to scout the dam. That was back in '73, if I recall. A lot of those rangers are dead now. Vegas always chewed men up. It's just a little more literal nowadays. Well, that wasn't really a matter of choice. Got myself caught by legionaries up near Malpay. They had themselves some fun with me. Mangled my hands and feet pretty good. Wasn't much good with the pistol after that. Wasn't gonna be trekking across the waste on any more long scouts either. Caesar's boys figured I wasn't going anywhere after what they'd done to me, so they didn't bother tying me up. I crawled out of there on my elbows and knees. Must have looked a sight. Then I rolled down an embankment into the Colorado. Guess I had a mind to drown rather than give Caesar's boys the satisfaction of killing me. But a couple rangers happened to be watching from across the river. They jumped on in and pulled me out of there. Lucky break, they said. Going on 6 months now, but I reckon we'll be moving out soon enough. Can't talk about the details. Till then, we'll man the towers and keep an eye on the fiends. We've had more than our share of trouble from their direction. Whole thing smells of Caesar to me. Of course, that's just guesswork. But I'd still bet a few caps he's stirring up the locals against us. Always a pleasure. Keep yourself safe.
What can I do for you, boss? That's what I love about you, boss. Your firm belief that one day you'll actually remember things people tell you. What do you want to hear about? I grew up in... Just a few days after Mexico City was vaporized, refugees started pouring down the road to our ranch. I know that, boss. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm just getting sentimental in my old age. Anyways, forget it. Just wanted that off my chest. Got a second to talk, boss? Meeting Corporal Sterling. Well, it kind of got me thinking. Here's a guy that's been beat all to hell, right? I mean, he could have retired from the service, but instead he signs back on and does what he can. You think he did the right thing? Even if he can't use it anymore? Isn't that like asking you to come up with one of your brilliant schemes after suffering a crippling head wound? Oh, another one, I mean? I guess it reminds me of my own life. After the fire, I knew my sister and I couldn't stay at Hidalgo Ranch anymore. The refugees still wanted me dead. They even put a bounty on me. I remember how scared Rafaela was. I told her if she came with me, we'd see the vaqueros. She used to love the rodeo, especially the trick rider. We figured maybe we could find help in Mexico City. We were young. We didn't know what had happened, really. We didn't understand about the bombs. I don't think it was as hard hit as DC or Bakersfield, but it was bad enough. By the time we got there, the city was a radioactive ruin. Still, the city was full of looters, already forming into the beginnings of raider tribes. Crime was bad before the war, but now it was a nightmare. We were living like scavengers, scraping by on what little food we could find, always looking for medicine for my burns. And then, of course, the radiation started to kick in, turning me into this handsome devil you see before you. You're a poet of understatement, boss. But there were moments it was almost worth it. I still remember finding that novelty costume shop. I was just looking around for something I could slice up to wrap my burns when I saw the vaquero outfit hanging on the rack like it hadn't been touched. I took it, not like anybody else needed it, you know, and wore it back to our camp. Rafaela laughed, for the first time since the bombs had fallen. It was. I started to build up a legend. Sometimes it headed off trouble, but most of the times it just started more. Young punks looking to prove themselves would come looking for me, but my eyes were sharp and my guns were quick. For a while, it seemed like we might even survive there, until Rafaela. She went out to find some food one day. I was sick, so I stayed at our camp. I guess it must have been the beginning of radiation poisoning. Anyway, it was supposed to be safe, but some raiders happened to pass through where she was scavenging. I won't speak of what they did to her. When I found her body, the only way to recognize her was this funny little scar on her knee from when she was a little girl. Terrible doesn't begin to cover it, boss. I let my whole family down. First the ranch, now Rafaela. I was the last Tejada. I guess maybe I went a little crazy then. I took my guns and went back to that market. I didn't have many bullets, but I had enough. After the raiders were dead, I salvaged what I could from the store. I was tired. I just wanted to be alone forever. I left Mexico City behind. I made my way out to the Gulf Coast. Eventually, I found an old Petro Chico refinery nobody had claimed. I stayed there for a little while, and I thought a lot about my life. I thought about the guns I'd lived by and what they'd gotten me. I decided my guns hadn't gotten me anything, and it was time to give it up. I took off the old vaquero outfit and put on a Petro Chico jumpsuit. The name tag said Miguel, so I started using the name myself. Eventually, I made it to Arizona. That's another story, boss.
Ranger at the ready.
What's new? A few years. Hell. Anyway.
What can I do for you, boss?
What's new?
Sure, boss. The old man will crawl around in the dirt to keep hidden.
Hey there, need anything? Sure, here's what I've got.
I expect to be awed by your dizzying mercantile sense, boss.
Hey, what's new? Hell, listen.
Move along.
What can I do for you, boss? What can I do for you, boss?
Isn't that bomber a beauty? Thanks so...
What's new?
What can I do for you, boss?
What's new?
What can I do for you, boss?
What's new? Right now, a whole lot of sitting on my keister and counting cracks in the ceiling. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. On better days, I help keep the peace. Boone and Vargas watch the road. I watch the town. Tell myself I'm doing some good.
What can I do for you, boss? You wanna point that someplace else, boss? I got enough holes in me. What can I do for you, boss?
Hey, what's new? A few years. Anyway. That. What's new?
We won't go quietly. The Legion can count on that.
Nothing like a job done right.
Smart move for the Kings to back down. They didn't know who... Quartermaster
Back already? What do you need?
Maze was yelling at us about rationing again.
Welcome back.
Where does the guy get the energy to yell so?
I expect to be awed by your dizzying mercantile sense, boss.
We won't go quietly. The Legion can count on that. Smart move for the Kings to back down. They didn't know who they were messing with.
What can I do for you, boss? Hey, as long as you're not asking...
No violence is permitted on the strip.
Boss, are you trying to destroy my knees even faster than nature?
Is it time? Sounds like it's gonna be an all-out war with the Legion soon. Maybe I should have re-enlisted after all. If you want, it's not really my thing. Carla's dead. That's all you need to know. What is it? I'll make my way there.
Oh, it's... Anything's better than staying here. You want to point that someplace else, boss? I got enough holes in it.
You've done us a great service. Thank you for your help.
Isn't that bomber a beaut?
Howdy. What brings you...
Hello.
Hey there.
What's new? Like what?
All the noise at RepCon's.
What can I do for you, boss?
Scared.
What can I do for you, boss?
The hell out of me.
hear the Grey Khans got massacred again. No survivors this time, though. What's new? What's new?
What can I do for you, boss? I'm sure you'll be fair and equitable. mind this so much if it weren't for that maniacal gleam in your eye.
What's new?
What can I do for you, boss?
With those fiends on the run, I should head over to...
Hey, welcome. What's new?
With those fiends on the run, I should head over to Vault 3 and see if I can pull some salvage out of them.
What can I do for you, boss? Your memory's like a steel trap, boss. What do you think of guys like Ranger Andy? That wasn't what I meant, really. I mean guys who have a world of experience doing what they do, but have to give it up because they're getting old and slow or too injured. Maybe, yeah. I guess you got a point there. Not really, boss. No. I left everything when I left Mexico. My home, my family, my name, even my face. I know it's surprising, boss, but I wasn't always this handsome. As far as the world knows, I was Miguel, and I was okay with that. I headed north for a while, and ended up in Tucson. Not Tucson, by the way. Things were good there. Well, maybe not good, but better than Mexico City anyway. I found myself a little shack, started fixing things. Oh, sure, boss. I was always good at fixing things. Some I fixed for the town, some I fixed for other people, some I fixed just for the hell of it. It's a better way to use your hands than killing. And even then, I wasn't getting any younger or faster. I lived there for a long time, kept to myself, didn't get into any fights. Hell, the only reason I even kept my guns oiled was professional pride. Getting there, boss. I'd been in Tucson. The locals can call it Tucson all they want, but it's Tucson, damn it. About 75 years when she showed up. Prettiest thing you ever saw, boss. Maybe it was just a trick of my senile brain, but I swear she looked just like my Rafaela. Her name was Claudia. She ended up taking work at one of the brothels in town. I never went to her, of course. How could I? But I looked after her in my own way. This was a long time ago, before Caesar's Legion pacified Arizona and brought the raider tribes to heel. A tribe came into Tucson one day. More a gang, really. Dirty Dave and his 6 brothers. They were looking for bullets, and I sold some to them. I figured if I did that, they'd leave town before they tore it up too much. No, boss. No, they didn't. As I was saying, I hoped they'd leave the town in peace. Instead, they decided to stop at Claudia's brothel to take the edge off. I don't know which one of them got rowdy first, but by the time I heard the screams and got my guns, it was too late. They shot up the brothel, killed 4 girls, and taken Claudia for their sport. I went after Dave and his brothers. They had a head start, but they slept nights. I didn't. Took me 3 days to catch up to them. Claudia was dead when I got there. They put a bullet in each of her eyes. I couldn't do anything except avenge her, just like Rafaela. I charged into the middle of their camp and started firing. 2 of them were dead before they knew I was there. The other 5, though, they shot the shit out of me. I would have died, I think, if I wasn't so full of rage. By being a meaner old cuss than the rest of them, boss. I wanted to keep living until they weren't. So I just kept shooting until they were all dead. I was in pretty bad shape in the end, though. I don't know how long I laid there, with the sun baking me and the buzzards chomping at me. Eventually, I got the strength to start moving. Some long time after that, I managed to drag my carcass back to town. When I recovered, more or less anyways, I left Tucson and headed west. I ran into Tabitha at Black Mountain, and well, the rest you know. I swore I was done with the gunslinging life. I was too old, too slow, and too beat up to protect anyone anymore. I thought I was done forever, but after traveling with you, I realized I've always had my doubts. What can I do for you, boss?